Welcome to Studio 5. Mercy Me, Brandon Nimmo, and something new from Disney. They're all on tap this week, and we begin with an exciting countdown of the top 5 stories in the world of uplifting entertainment. We begin with number 5 and number 4. At number 5. It's the sound of Lakewood Church, and this music ministry has released a new album. The project from Lakewood is called Shout. If you could describe this album, what would you say? How would you describe it? Shout, shout, until the walls come down. Shout, shout, until
they all fall down. It's our most diverse collection of songs for sure. Something about this album and Lakewood in general is we really want to have something for everybody. So this project has some gospel inspired songs, it has some pop, of course worship, it has some rock and roll.
At number 4.
This is Delta Launch Control.
Go for launch.
3, 2, 1, engine start, and liftoff.
It's a Studio 5 first look at Goodnight Oppie.
It's just a box of wires, right? But you end up with this cutish looking robot that has a face. Oh, it's alive!
It's the inspirational true story of Opportunity, a rover sent to Mars for a 90-day mission, but survives 15 years.
Through this robot, we are on this incredible adventure together.
Humans are capable of forming a connection and a bond to a robot.
Goodnight Oppie releases November 4th.
She rewrote the history books.
Goodnight, Opportunity.
Our countdown continues in just a little bit. We now turn to Mercy Me. The band has just released their 11th studio album. It's called Always Only Jesus.
Better days coming. Don't give up. The hands that are holding tomorrow are still holding on to us. Better days coming.
So this is project number 11 for you guys?
11,000. I think.
Somebody asked, and we were counting, and with all of our independent records, Christmas albums, greatest hits, it's number 23.
23.
Right.
Yeah.
How does this feel to be at number 11 and more than 20 when you count it all?
Humbling, honestly. Yeah. To see bands that we love and have respected, who came before us, who didn't last this long, or that haven't been able to stick it out this long. It's humbling that God's still got us together.
What's this process been like with this particular project?
It's been almost 3 years in the making.
Wow.
We actually started most of these songs we started when we started writing for our previous record, Inhale, Exhale.
How do we narrow it down to these 10 tracks, correct?
We kind of felt like we needed to go a different direction when instead of making another Imagine or Even If, we kind of wanted to sing a disco song about Jesus with Gloria Gaynor and kind of look for some silver linings in what was a dark season for the entire globe. So this other batch of songs that were all written around the same time, not all of them fit that. They were more what we had done historically, like an All of Creation or a Word of God Speak and one of those songs. And so they actually ended up making a really complete feeling record. It kind of snuck up on us. Like, we knew we had all this batch of songs, and as we started to finish them, we're like, man, these really fit together really well. Our current single, Then Christ Came, is actually a song that we started writing, obviously all these during Inhale, Exhale, and this one actually, we tried to get on Inhale, Exhale, but we could not get it right. We couldn't crack the code. For 2 years, we were fighting the song, changing the tempo, changing the key. But I love what it says. It's talking about who we are before Christ steps in and who we are because of Christ.
What is the prayer for this next project, for number 11? I can only imagine what number 12 is going to be like, but what's the prayer for Project 11?
The title of the album is Always Only Jesus, and I think for such a time as this, if there was ever a time to keep it as simple as possible and as vertical as possible, that's the common denominator for a divided body, is to remind everyone that Jesus is the thing that we can agree on. And I think unity is the most important thing that we've got to do right now, and find something that we all can say, yes, this is what it's about. I can disagree with someone as long as they're still trying to honor the heart of God in whatever they're doing. I'm Southern Baptist, Methodist, and us, we've done it for years, but it's like the goal is to make sure that we know that, hey, no matter what our differences are, Jesus is the reason to come together.
Always Only Jesus is available wherever you stream, download, or purchase your music, and you can also find Mercy Me on tour, coming to a city near you. Still ahead.
You do have to be willing to sacrifice that first at bat in order to come up with a better plan for the team that day.
New York Mets center fielder Brandon Nimmo shares his secret to playing on baseball's biggest stage in this week's look at Faith on the Field.
Having sex before you marry is a bad idea.
Don't tell me there's no such thing as gun violence.
That just depends on your definition of when life begins.
Watch Dan and Dale tackle trending topics that test your faith on the next Faith Wire. Monday night at 8:30 on the CBN News Channel. The Global Lane takes you around the world, providing facts over fiction.
What might rising trade and geopolitical tensions mean for you on the home front?
With over 45 years of experience, award-winning journalist Gary Lane brings you the truth from a global angle.
What about the issue of immigration?
World news analysis you won't see anywhere else.
And it's all right here on the Global Lane.
Thursday night at 8:30 on the CBN News Channel.
Number 3.
Could never explain the pain I feel inside.
Mourning the loss of a voice made famous on the stage with Tyler Perry, and then America's Got Talent.
America's Got Talent star Zuri Craig has died. He was 44 years old. Alongside singing partner Jeffrey Lewis, Zuri competed in season 10 of AGT in 2015.
Can I be honest? Sometimes this world gets me down. It's hard, yeah.
Guest judge Michael Bublé tapped his golden buzzer for the group.
I ain't got no plans. No.
At number 2.
Working 9 to 5. What a way to make a living.
This American music queen plans to work a little less. Country music singer Dolly Parton is planning to stop music touring full-time. She doesn't plan to tour again full-blown, but will do live specials at times such as weekend shows or festivals. She says she's at a time in her career where she doesn't want to stray away too far from family, saying, "I like to stay a little closer home with my husband. We're getting older now, and I don't want to be gone for 4 or 5 weeks at a time." Dolly's last tour was in 2016.
Working 9 to 5. Give me 5.
Our countdown of the best uplifting entertainment stories continues in just a bit. Welcome back to Studio 5. We want to turn to Brandon Nimmo, the center field for the New York Mets, who is sharing his secret to playing on baseball's biggest stage.
In baseball, you play 162 games. You're just not quite ever going to be 100% healthy when you go out there, and you have to figure out a way to lay it all out there with what you have. There's sacrifice involved. I'm usually taking the first pitch or few pitches of the game in order to see how the pitcher is that day. We play each and every day, but the starting pitchers, they go every 5, and I'm gonna take the first pitch of the game. And if he can throw it for a strike, well, okay, now I know that he's got his command, he's able to put it where he wants, and you do have to be willing to sacrifice that first at-bat in order to come up with a better plan for the team that day. I still find wonder in little moments where I was able to rob a home run in a really big situation, and a bunch of emotion poured out of me, and I felt like a little kid out on the field again in front of 50,000 people, understanding just how blessed I am to be in this position. It helps me to play with enthusiasm and to have a lot of fun in this game. That thankfulness that I think really comes through, that's the joy that I think you see. But when you come to Citi Field, loyal and energetic and as excited as you are, this is also the biggest stage. When you don't do well, it's not always hunky-dory. But man, when you come through, it's really special, and there's no better place to do it. The only pressure is what I put on myself. And unfortunately, that's too much most of the time. I think we all control that pressure that we seem to be feeling from the outside world, but sometimes that's hindering you from being your best self. Definitely put the hard work in and be prepared and do everything that I can in order to come through in those situations, but also be a little bit easier on myself. At the end of the day, I'm really the only one who's putting that pressure on myself. Baseball is a game of failure, so you're gonna have ups and downs. You're gonna be upset about your failures. Is this how Jesus would want you to act? You know, how I just conduct myself on an everyday basis of trying to have more patience and be slow to anger, learn from the Bible and what it teaches us. I think it helps deal with the failure of baseball in a much healthier way. There was a moment back in 2016, this might be it for baseball. What might be next? And I remember my dad said, you know, Brandon, if God doesn't want this for you, then he's got something much better planned for you. When I finally really surrender to him in my heart, not just saying the words, but in my heart, say, okay, wherever this is gonna go, it's up to you. Started to feel more peace about what I was doing. There's nothing that you're gonna do that's gonna hinder that. He's gonna make a way for you. Sometimes I find in this life, we're going so fast, we forget that we're placed on this earth in order to help each other. The ultimate sacrifice was Jesus dying on the cross for our sins. He made the greatest example by showing us that true love and true purpose down here is sacrifice. What did Jesus do in this situation, and how can I try and be better and be more like him? Those little moments can make the biggest impacts.
Brandon has shared how disappointing the end of the season was for him and the Mets. All eyes are on him now for the next chapter. On that note, this is a great time to share a story in pictures. Here's this week's Studio 5 Snapshot.
Some of Hollywood's biggest names became children again this week, making time to disguise themselves in creative costumes. From actors to talk show hosts to television news anchors, we're taking a fun look back with photo after photo after photo. Their star-powered creativity is this week's Studio 5 Snapshot. Just moments away.
Where in the world are we? What in the...
Something new from Disney's world of animation.
Set out to tell an environmental story, but obviously wanted to do it in a fun way and sort of profiled those adventure stories that I loved as a kid and still love as an adult.
The cast and creators take us inside Strange World.
Our entire world is in grave danger. I want you to come with me on an expedition.
I'm not my father.
Want to be a part of a community that inspires your spiritual growth while winning prizes? The all-new MyCBN app. Connect with the community for prayer and encouragement. Track and set spiritual goals. Enjoy conversation starters with friends and family. And collect points to win prizes. The all-new MyCBN app. A great place to belong. Download the app at cbn.com/mobile.
Nutrition, exercise, essential oils, weight loss, and more. It's Healthy Living with Lori Johnson.
Talk about what's in this.
Join CBN health reporter Lori Johnson to get the latest information from today's top health experts.
This is fantastic.
Find out what you need to know to live a healthier life. Watch Healthy Living Tuesday night at 8:30 on the CBN News Channel.
Too often, we carry baggage from our past. You know what it's like. It affects everything and everyone in our lives. It's always there, weighing us down and keeping us from achieving true happiness. But do you know God never meant for us to be trapped in the past? You can be free of your baggage. Learn how God's forgiveness leads to changed lives and new beginnings. Call the 700 Club.
We have something new from Disney's animated world to share. It's called Strange World, and it features a legendary family of explorers whose differences threaten to mangle their latest and most crucial mission into uncharted and treacherous territory.
Prepare yourself for a journey beyond what is possible. Walt Disney Animation Studios proudly presents Strange World, a new motion picture event.
Brace yourself!
Travel past space and time to a place of infinite mystery, unlike anything you've ever seen.
The idea for Strange World came, probably 4 or 5 years ago. And thinking about what my next film was going to be, and what was top of mind at that moment was I was thinking about my kids and what kind of world they're going to inherit when they're older, and what kind of world I inherited from my father. So that's kind of where it started, this idea of, legacy and fathers, sons, and grandsons.
Whoa! What kind of airship is that?
I've never seen anything like it! Baby Clade! What is the president doing in our front yard? Our entire world is in grave danger. I want you to come with me on an expedition.
I'm not my father.
Wanted to set out to tell an environmental story, but obviously wanted to do it in a fun way and sort of profiled those adventure stories that I loved as a kid and still love as an adult.
He was the explorer.
I know you were just a kid when he went missing, but now you're all we got.
Mr. Clade, I'm a huge fan of your dad.
Searcher Clade is the main character, our protagonist in Strange World. He is the son of the most famous explorer of all time, the celebrity explorer named Jaeger Clade.
Where in the world are we? Ethan, you brought the dog? Sorry!
There's a lot of aspects of my dad that are in Searcher.
We are clearly in uncharted territory.
I love stories about fathers and sons. It's something that I've loved since I was a lad.
Hello, you probably don't understand a word I'm saying.
Of course I understand you.
Huh?
Dad? Dad? Grandpa?
I'm a grandpa.
I had an incredibly strong father. He was a loving father, but he was also a very strict father. And I have to say, when I first heard the story of Strange World, I was hooked because the Jaeger-Searcher relationship actually seemed pretty relatable to me.
Grandpa's awesome! He is not awesome! You gave me a machete for my birthday?
Classic Jaeger Clade.
I was 2.
Searcher and Jaeger's relationship outwardly appears as if they're opposites, but I think a lot of their conflict is because they are the same.
We need you to figure this out, otherwise we're doomed. We are doomed!
Wait, seriously?
No, I'm just messing with you.
Didn't see that coming.
The thing that is driving them is this idea of legacy, and for Jaeger, he wants to cross the mountains to have that be the legacy that he leaves for his son. And in the case of Searcher, he is sort of the father of Pando, and he farms, and he wants to be available to Ethan in the same way. Because what he's concerned about is what he leaves behind for his son. So in a lot of ways, they're very similar.
The cliffs are alive, and the waters dissolve the flesh off your bones.
Everything down here is trying to kill us.
What's so relatable about Jaeger, Searcher, and Ethan is I think all of us as individuals have a little bit of each of those characters in us. We're all ambitious like Jaeger. We all care about our families like Searcher, but we're also restless. We're also people still searching for answers and figuring out ourselves throughout our lives like Ethan.
What in
The whole family is on this adventure. Underneath the world of Avalonia into this really strange world.
We need to get out of here!
If you want to back out, this is the time to do it.
Really?
No! Messing with you. Come on. Let's make history.
Strange World is coming your way just in time for Thanksgiving. You can look for the Disney film November 23rd. Well, we have made it to the final story in this week's countdown of the 5 best moments in uplifting entertainment. Here is what's finishing on top this week. At number 1.
It will not change under my watch.
Yes, General.
Continuing our Studio 5 countdown to the November 11th return of Wakanda.
There's so much that's happening in this movie. It's amazing. So many new characters to explore. Just seeing the world of Wakanda again, and then now we're going to this whole new world underwater.
My enemies call me Namor. Introducing Namor, who's a character we were really excited to portray in the film. Arguably one of the oldest comic book characters that there is. The opportunity to play a character like this, it's a dream.
Coming up.
I'm gonna run. No, I'm gonna fly.
We're flying back to see Mercy Me, to land a final word for this edition of Studio 5.
Are you suffering from feeling tired or worn out during the day? Can you not turn off your brain at night? You are not alone. Hi, I'm Dr. Michael Bruce, the Sleep Doctor, and I've partnered with the Christian Broadcasting Network, and we're gonna bring you some unbelievable information that you can use tonight to get a better night's rest.
Wake up to your best life. Call 1-800-700-7000 or go to cbn.com to get your free copy of Protect Your Sleep today.
Nutrition, exercise, essential oils, weight loss, and more. It's Healthy Living with Lori Johnson.
Talk about what's in this.
Join CBN health reporter Lori Johnson to get the latest information from today's top health experts.
This is fantastic.
Find out what you need to know to live a healthier life. Watch Healthy Living, Tuesday night at 8:30 on the CBN News Channel.
Woohoo! Hi, Superbook fans. Here's something else you'll love. It's the new Superbook Bible app. It's packed with games, activities, and Superbook episodes that you can watch for free. Oh no! There's trivia, a fun daily devotional, and answers to your Bible questions. Plus, an easy-to-understand Bible the whole family will enjoy. You can even create your own Superbook character. Ta-da! Whoa!
No Super Falls, man. Come with...
Sorry, pardon me. Sorry, excuse me. Ouch!
Are you getting this?
Earn super points to win daily prizes, too. And so much more! Time to get back to my adventures. See you soon! It's the new Superbook Bible app. Free downloads on iTunes, Google Play, and Amazon.
Welcome back to Studio 5. There is a joyful sound ringing in my ear this week. It's coming from the Sunday Service Choir. Take a listen to Ain't God Good, and you are sure to understand how and why it's helping us to bring you this show this week. Ain't God Good. What a beautiful sound. On that musical note, we are just about out of time for this week's edition of Studio 5. So let's take a moment and look ahead to next week.
You're still God over everything. Oh, Lord, we need you.
Friend of Studio 5, Titus Showers. Your latest project is named after yourself?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, that comes about because after I left the family, I titled my freshman project, Who? So I wanted people to know who Jesus is, and then secondarily, you'll find out who Titus Showers is.
We're learning more about who he is and his passion to reach others from the solo stage.
We all need you. That's why we pray.
Please make time to join us for that story and so much more next week. This week, we have time for one more word, and we're giving that to the men of Mercy Me. They have the final word.
The body of Christ has been more divided than ever before in my lifetime, and it's like there's still this like, hey man, you're still forgivable. You're still within reach of the grace of God. And I've got friends personally that are, that took some pretty hard stances during COVID and are kind of walking things back or pretending it never happened just because fear manifests in different ways. And it's like, hey man, we've got to get back on the same page. Like there's nothing that's too big for Jesus. And it's just a good reminder, especially right now.
Mercy Me, thank you. That is a great final word for this edition of Studio 5 and this week's look at uplifting entertainment. Until next time, make time to uplift someone around you, and then come on back. See where Studio 5 takes you next week. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for watching.